Greetings and great morning. You know what day it is. Oh, we all know what day it is in 2024. Happy Transformative Tuesday, y'all. As always, I'm Dennis R. Holder, Mr. Motivation, the CEO of Herald of Hope Books and Inspiration. And guess what? This Tuesday morning, I am your #1 Tuesday morning motivational speaker, asking you to do that thing I love to say. Come on, I ain't gonna say it. Somebody waiting on me to say it. Wake up and lend me your ears on this Transformative Tuesday. Here we are finishing out the Transformative Tuesdays for the month of June, where our topic has been simply, we must keep going. If you hadn't been tuning in, what I've been telling us is that you must keep going in your goals, dreams, and aspirations. You must keep going despite the problems and the circumstances that you face. You must keep going because there are goals, dreams, and aspirations that are meant for you and only you. You have a destiny. We must keep going. So our quote for today won't be anything lacking. In our pursuit of excellence in 2024, I need us to be reminded that yes, the year is nearly done, but there is still more for us to do. In fact, my goal as of most recently that I've added in my addition to my prayers and my meditation is that each and every day I pray, dear Lord, allow me to wake up and be on assignment. Dennis, what do you mean? When I say be on assignment, allow me to say the things I need to say today, to present and be the best version of myself I can be today. Allow me to be in the rooms and the conversations and the topics and to be a part of who you called me to be. Allow me to basically, if nothing else, use my gift, talents, and abilities to affect the change, to be the change that I want to see in this world. Allow me to be on assignment to do what you called me to do. And I pray the same for each and every one of you. So I pray that we step into our new day, our new Tuesday as we prepare to close out the month of June. Happy Transformative Tuesday. Our quote for today simply states that the problems that I face, the problems that you face, the problems that we face are meant to put us in position. Oh, somebody hear me this morning. I said the problems that we face are meant to put us in position. Now, Dennis, you just told me I got to keep going. Yes. Dennis, you just told me that it's important I continue to press on beyond my problems. Yes. Dennis, you just told me that there's greater things of destiny that lies beyond where I currently stand. I sure did. I'm glad you're listening. But now I need to continue to take that next step with me. And guess what? I need you to understand that you have to get in position. When you're going somewhere, we don't just aimlessly get in our cars and take a walk without something in mind, a destination, a position, if you will, that we would like to be in. We have to continue to be and get into better position. Now, what is position, Dennis? Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. That is a great Tuesday morning question. What is being in position? Being in position means that sometimes you're going to take hold of those situations of that you find yourself fighting situations, and you're going to let it build your faith. That sometimes, hey, you're going to take those hurdles of life and allow them to shape you and leap over them and hone your skills. That sometimes you're going to take on the fights of life and let it build your faith and shape you on the potter's wheel of life. What am I saying to us all? That being in position pushes us to change. It pushes us to grow, learn, and evolve. The necessary tools that allow us to do what? To progress in life, that allow us to ascend beyond where we currently stand, that allow us to do that thing you know I love to talk about, transform into the next best versions of ourselves. What I'm saying to us today is simply, I got a story for us. So everybody gather around and lend me your ears for our Transformative Tuesday story quote of the week. Our story for today starts with a young king who has recently taken over, or who has recently inherited, the kingdom from his father. This young man has probably been king for maybe, let's just say 2 or 3 years, not a long time. Now, I need to give you a little reference of where this young man comes from. His father was a wise king, a very sovereign king, a very strong king, a very compassionate king, who had passed these lessons along to his son, who had encouraged him along the way to remind him that this was his birthright, that this was going to be what he was going to inherit. To understand that being a king came with a lot of responsibility. It came with a lot of hardships. It came with a lot of chances you're going to grow, learn, and continue to evolve as you become a wiser man in the process of living, right? So this young king had taken over, and because his father had been so sovereign, had been so strong, had been so capable as a king, that this kingdom was thriving. It almost didn't really take much effort at all for him to run this thing, right? So the young man enjoyed these first couple of years of his reign, and it was simple. It was easy. The people loved him. They loved his father. They loved his family. Everything was going good until it wasn't. Slowly but surely, problems started to break out that the young man had never seen his father deal with. Difficult situations started to come about that he didn't quite know how to maneuver because things had been so smooth. Slowly but surely, he found himself in hard situation after hard situation, difficult situation, ups and downs of just waxing and waning of his process and his progress of growing in his kingship and growing in his reign and managing the kingdom. So slowly but surely, this bright, this capable, this well-taught and encouraged young man became very cynical, very negative minded about the way he was ruling as a king. So much so that it worried his wise advisors because they had seen this young man be brought up under wise counsel of his father. They knew the potential and the capacity that he had to be better, to do better. Sometimes we got to have people who can see the best in us when we can't see it ourselves. But I digress and stay on my story. They saw this young man, so they weren't ready to give up on him. So they were willing to do whatever they could to help him, to help reset him, to refocus him, to be the advisors that his father had put in place for him. So finally, this young man poses a challenge because he sees everybody's eager to try to help him. He sees that everybody's eager to want to try to give him some guidance, but he's also a king. So the king issues the challenge today. He says, I see you all gathered before me, and I can appreciate that in a very sarcastic way, he says to him. He says, so to help me in this time to seek out greater balance, a greater understanding of what it is to be a better king, a wiser king during these times of trouble, turmoil, and difficulty, I pose a challenge to each and every one of you. Everybody raises their heads. They look around. They're all ears to wait to see what this young king is going to say to them. He says, I challenge you to bring me a gift. Oh, everybody says, it's easy, old king. I can go here and get you this. I can go here and get you that. Hey, whoa. He stops him. Slow down. It's not going to be that easy. He says, I need you to get me a gift that makes me smile. Again, everybody says, that's easy. I can no. Stop. Remind you, some of us get too easy. We don't let people finish talking. We don't let the conversation play out. See where things are going before you have an answer. So I say again, the king says, not only must it make me smile, but at the same time, it must make me sad. Everybody looks a little puzzled. What is this kid talking about? Nobody dare says this out loud. But okay, king, we'll do what we can. A gift that makes you smile, but makes you sad at the same time. I know y'all thinking that's silly, but some of us don't know what we want either. We want to be happy about getting past where we currently stand, but we want to sit and complain about and hang on to the difficulties, the doubts, the fears, and the frustrations that we've had. But I digress here, so just make sure you're paying attention. So we continue to go out and everybody leaves. This one very wise, young counselor decides that he knows the perfect gift for this king because he had been around a good bit of time and he had seen the young man and his father interact. He had seen how this young man was, how his mind worked, and a greater understanding of how to encourage the young king instead of just trying to just give him this simple gift that he thought would answer the question. So he went to a jewelry maker in the kingdom. He came to him and told him what he needed. The jewelry maker crafted the jewelry and presented it to the wise young man. So as everybody's returning back to the kingdom and coming to the palace to bring the king what they found, the gifts of what they thought would make him happy and sad at the same time, the king is turning them all away. Some of them made him sad and he didn't appreciate it. Some of them made him smile. He still didn't appreciate it. So after each and every one, he's turning them away. Nobody's quite feeling the void of making him happy and sad at the same time. But yet this young man gets his opportunity. He comes before the king and he presents him with a small box. The king's unimpressed. Remember, I told you he's rather cynical at this point. He's knowing that everybody else has went far and wide to try to find something. They didn't find anything. And here you come with a jewelry box from I know who the craftsman is because he makes a good bit of my jewelry. And you think this is going to be the answer. Okay, I'll humor you. The young man opens the box and he sees a ring. And at first glance, he wasn't too impressed until he really looked at it. The craftsmanship of this ring was truly fit for a king. It was something that definitely he would have made for himself, something that he would gladly receive as a symbol of his royal ascendance, of his understanding of his status in life, right? And he told the wise and counselor, he said, okay, I'm happy about it. I can appreciate it as a king. He said, but I must tell you, though you presented this great gift, I got to tell you that you failed on the second part. He says, O king, O king, will you take a moment and read the inscription on the inside of that ring? The king looked surprised because no one had caught him off guard all these days and all these gifts that had been coming in. The king stops and he pulls the ring out of the box and he looks rather unimpressively until his features start to soften. Until he really locks in on what's written on the inside of this ring. Until he finally kind of tears up a little bit, y'all. Tears up and has a sobering look on his face. This sobering look made him sad, but sad with perspective. Everyone is baffled. Nobody knows what has occurred. You went from this very happy, joyous king to this almost slightly saddened king, but in his sadness, a resilience was restored to his face, y'all. A drive was restored to his face, y'all. A greater renewed perspective was returned to his face, y'all. Everyone says, oh king, you must tell us, what are you reading? What changed the whole tone of this conversation? The king looked up to him as he placed the ring on his hand and says, I wear a ring that is truly fit for a king. But this ring has a message that was also fit for a king. A message that I would always hear my father say, a quote he would always utter in his process of problem solving and managing his difficult situations, circumstances. They says, King, please tell us, what does it say? He said, the quote simply says, this too shall pass. He said, when I heard these words, I couldn't help but think about seeing my father manage, overcome, and deal with the situations of life. And now that burden, that challenge, this opportunity is placed before me. So I must take it on with a smile and appreciate the blessings of what I've had. But I also understand that what I'm going to have to do as I keep going, it's going to come with burdens. It's going to come with trials. It's going to come with tribulations. But I must keep going. What am I saying, each and every one of you? What am I expecting from each and every one of us to realize that the problems that we face, the problems that I face, the problems that you face, are meant to get you in position. Those problems are reminding us that, guess what? I'm going to shake you up out of the monotony of what you're going through to remind you that there's more within you. There's greater potential within you. There's a greater possibility beyond the problem that you face. But you got to realize that, hey, this problem's not here to break you. It's here to make you. It's here to shape you, allow you to grow, learn, and evolve into the next best version of yourself. Why is this important? Because that's what allows us to keep going. Because when we keep going, we gain integrity, which builds our character. We gain a greater attitude of gratitude and perspective on the process of living our lives, that we know that there are going to be some good days and we got to say thank you and appreciate them. But there's going to be some hard days that's going to challenge us and push us beyond what we think we can bear, but also be thankful because they're bettering us for days to come. And last but not least, I need us to realize that getting in position means putting us in position to do what we're meant to do, to be on assignment and take hold of what we're supposed to take hold of today. I pray that each and every one of you, yes, each and every one of you, be blessed under the sound of my voice. And remember that the problems that I face, the problems that you face, the problems that we all are going to face are meant to put us in position. Allow them to put you in position and be on assignment today. Happy Transformative Tuesday, y'all.